It's fall prevention month, September is, and so we're having an event to try to prevent fall risk. And one of the ways you can do that is to have really nice sturdy house slippers. So we have a lot of slippers to give away. So I'm going to pass around a sign up sheet right now. Your information should be either on the front of this sheet or the back. All you'd have to do is put your shoe size and sign your name next to your printed name on here. And then next in service, we'll have a pair of slippers for you for free. Okay. So I'll pass this around. You're welcome to sign it or just pass it to the next person. Okay. If you don't see your name, you can add it on the end.
Wonderful. Thank you. Okay. Well, we're waiting on our presenter. So I'm going to get started with announcements and then we'll go from there. Yeah. Oh. Okay, this is Molly's. Okay. We're keeping up with the icebreakers just to get to know each other a little better. So if you could share your name and then in honor of autumn, which starts in 2 days officially, do you prefer apple or pumpkin flavored treats? So, or both, you could say both or neither, I guess. So I'm Jackie. I typically prefer apple flavored treats.
I'm Sister Marianne, and I really like pumpkin pie.
Okay.
I ever really like both,
Okay.
but yet I do have a special for the pumpkin. It's called the pumpkin log.
Oh.
Yeah, those are good with the cream cheese. Mm-hmm. Very good.
I'm Gloria, and I like the pumpkin. And I also make some flavored cookies.
Oh, yeah.
I made it good and I like it.
Okay.
My name is Kenny, and I don't mean
Okay.
I apple.
Yeah.
I must not make it for long, it's not like apple tree.
Okay. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Charlie and I like
Oh boy.
I'm Molly, I like that.
Okay.
Wow.
it. Happy, yeah.
Okay.
Caroline, I like both.
Okay.
I am Eddie, and I prefer apples.
Wow. We know what we're getting for our next in-service snack, don't we? My name is Mackenzie Joe. I haven't had the pleasure of meeting some of you. I am the new coordinator. So I do a lot of what Jackie does, just on different days. So you're welcome to call me if you need anything. It's a pleasure to meet you guys, and I like apple.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Not a competition. They are both delicious.
Yes.
Okay. So, a couple things that didn't make it into the agenda. I will be out of the office for about a week, September 25th to October 2nd. So Mackenzie Joe's going to be checking my voicemails. But I just wanted to let everyone know I won't be returning any calls. I'm going to be out of the country, so I won't have access to anything.
Yeah.
Just
So
so
if
you
you
know.
want to call me, my extension is 9963.
Perfect. Thank you.
So
Yes. The 25th through October 2nd. Yep. So starting next Wednesday, I'll be out of town. But Bri will also be checking my email. So there should be coverage there. It might just take a little bit longer for someone to get back to people if it goes to my extension or to my email. If we have been having a lot of like technical difficulties, drive issues, printer problems, our printer wasn't working this week. So we printed out blank October state calendars. If you did not receive a state calendar, we can give you one. We tried to write, Mackenzie Joe this morning wrote in client names and the hours, but if you didn't get one for your client, just let us know and we can get you one. We're just doing some workarounds for everything. So And then on a much sadder note, a lot of you knew Audrey Maddox, and I think you probably saw the email, but she passed away this month. So she used to be a senior companion for a long time. She was wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And then she ended up being a client. And she actually passed away a couple weeks ago. So just wanted to let everyone know that if you're wondering about her. Bri was actually there with her when she passed away and said it was very peaceful and she was comfortable. So that's good. There,
I appreciated getting the message about.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That was very, a part of who we are. You know?
Yeah.
It's good that.
absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah.
sad, but.
Yeah.
Good.
We try to keep you guys appraised of that kind of stuff because we do build community and I know a lot of you build friendships and so that's on a little bit more of a sad note, but just wanted to let you know that. Okay, so in your packet, there are some envelopes and some with the postage already on it. And then there is a slip of paper that has our new address on it. So you can send timesheets to this office now because our office is based out of here. I also provided some mailing labels to everybody. That way for the next couple, 3 times at least, you have like the correct address on a mailing label. If you send something to the other office, that's okay. I go check it a couple times. Hello, good morning. I do check a couple times a week over at the KCC office, but primarily we'll be operating out of this office moving forward. Does anyone have questions about that transition? No? Okay, it's pretty straightforward. You can send it to either. We prefer things be sent here. Hi, Krista.
Hi.
I'm Jackie. We're ready whenever you are.
Thank you.
I have the PowerPoint up. Good. Okay, thank you. Well, I have the PowerPoint up. There we go. Hello. Is there sound?
Nope.
With it? Okay, you are the sound. Perfect. All right. Can everyone see it okay? Do I need to turn the lights off? Lights off. Okay. Thanks.
See
Bob.
anything?
Oh no.
There we go.
Is that any better?
Yes.
Okay. Don't fall asleep on us, though.
I'll make sure no one falls asleep.
Uh-oh. There we go. Okay.
My name is Krista. I work for the Northern Illinois Food Bank. I'm on our SNAP outreach team. So I basically go to the community, do presentations like this, or actually go to pantries and health departments and sign up people for SNAP, medical, TANF, and stuff like that. So, so the main thing, and I guess I should have done different colors, sorry, but
Okay, how were you supposed to know?
So SNAP households are kind of like a gray area. A lot of people don't really know exactly what counts. It is, a household is someone you eat and prepare meals with. So, you know, a mother, child, you'd eat and prepare meals with them. But if you have 2 roommates, you don't have to count them. You only have to count yourself. You don't have to be related to be in the same household. It's just whoever you eat and prepare meals with. So you can have 2 adults living in the same household, but preparing, and then their incomes would count separate. And then, public charge is a lot of things for people who, were not born here. Totally different thing. We don't have to get into that, but it does not count as public charge. I know a lot of people, big thing right now is people coming into the country with, temporary protective status. It is a program that has been around a while. People can get help from the different countries. Right now, we have a lot of people from Venezuela and Ukraine, Haiti and stuff like that. They're under temporary protection status and they can receive help. So a lot of people think, oh, I am working, I wouldn't qualify, which is not true. We have income guidelines. So I always recommend reaching out to us. Even if you think you're over, if someone says, I think I'm over, have them call me. We'll see what we can do and we can try to get you the most we can get. Our food banks, doesn't matter. The way that the ones that Northern Illinois puts on is if you're hungry, come get food. We don't care. I mean, each pantry could be different, but the ones that we directly put on. Cause you might make enough and then you might have a car, like a repair, and you might be hungry. And so we're just about, we don't care your income, come have food. So, it doesn't matter if you receive SNAP. And then, other people need SNAP more than I do. SNAP is not a pie. I don't get less if you get some. So it's, if you need help, and the way that I like to say this is, how many times have you guys helped people? How many times in your life have you went out and helped someone with something? And how many more times will you do that? I'm sure that you guys have all done once or maybe once or twice. So I would just say that everybody, if you need a little help, don't be ashamed. Just ask for it, get it. Be happy to help you, even if it's just like for a month or two. So a lot of things, so college, I don't know if this would really relate here, but college and SNAP have some rules. You have to be working or looking for a job or a study or something like that. But children who are, people who are students do and can qualify for SNAP, so. So this is about to get completely washed away, because October is about to go to new ones. So it is gonna go up. This is for the regular household. And then this would be for over the age of 60, blind or disabled. I believe this is gonna go up to 2,300, but I didn't have the official numbers to give it yet. This will probably go up to like 27. So those will be released soon. So a lot of, I'm sure you guys have heard this. I'm only getting $15. I'm only getting $20 in SNAP. And a lot of important things is medical expenses. Some people don't report those. Housing, taxes, homeowner association fees. A really big one now is cell phones are included as utilities. So a lot of times people are like, I don't have a house phone. Well, cell phone is now considered a utility. Air conditioning, heat, and I have a slide to show you that. When you fill out your application, it takes 3 to 5 days for them to give you a call, just to go over everything that we did in the application. And they typically call from like a 217 number. So we always tell people to make sure their voicemails are not blocked, or like sometimes people have spam filters on to make sure those are off for the phone call. Okay, so I was talking about medical bills and the importance of turning those in. We have all of these here, and I know it's probably hard to see. But all of these can be counted for SNAP benefits. It's kind of what you put out is what you get back from the government. So a lot of times inpatient treatment, even just a regular medical, dental and vision services count. So if you have ongoing dental bills, those would count towards your SNAP. Prescriptions are also there. And then transportation, which I don't think people really realize is it costs you money to get to the doctor. So a lot of times we want to count those and then make sure you're getting your full amount. So because if you didn't count transportation and you didn't count, that's like maybe $50 extra a month you're spending, you should get credit for that. Now, this is where they get you on SNAP. This is the thing that I believe people make the most common mistake is so this is, do you pay utilities? Yes or no? And then this question down here, is your household billed separately for rent or mortgage for air conditioning and heat? Whose heat and whose air conditioning are in their mortgage? No one's. Whose air conditioning and heat are usually sometimes in a rent, but so a lot of times you don't click these 2 boxes. Just by clicking these, could be $5 or $10 extra in your pocket a month, just for those 2 things right there. And a lot of times people don't realize it, and then they're just leaving that money right there on the table. So just these 2 silly questions, 2 boxes, really do help a lot. And then the utility bills, telephone is there now, air conditioning, click air conditioning, heat. Click those two. I really feel like this is doing a disservice to people in the community because they don't realize these little, some of these things matter. So I always say, if you're only getting 23, dollars a month, let's make sure you're getting credit for all of these. What documents might be needed? I always tell people, you submit your application, wait and see what they need. Don't just throw information at them. You might need a proof of citizenship, social security number, any of these residency, disability. You do have to be a legal permanent resident for 5 years to receive SNAP benefits. Or a temporary protective status. So if you are here illegally and not temporary protective status, you do not get SNAP benefits. Only if you're one of those ones, and it's been around for a really long time, but Venezuelan, Haitian immigrants.
Why isn't Mexico?
Mexico doesn't have temporary protective status, and I'm not exactly sure why that's like between the two governments or whatever. Temporary protective status says, we know you're here legally, you're here legally, but it's only because of like war, like asylum, refugees and stuff like that. It's not just like people coming across the border. Did that make sense? I don't really get why Mexico isn't one.
Okay,
I don't get why.
that's fine.
That has to do with some lawmaking that I luckily am not a part of. Oh, sorry.
Falling down on the job here.
So manage my case is really important. You can go on there, you can see your benefits, you can see when we renew, and stuff like that. So, linking your case going on there is a really, easy way to see what's going on. Now, a lot of you or some people might be saying, I don't have a computer. I don't have a way to upload or do any of these documents. That's what I'm here for. If you do an application with me, I'm there from start to finish. I want to make sure that you're getting the amount you can get, the max amount. I want to make sure you're not missing any of your renewal dates, your midpoints or anything like that. And I want to make sure that any paperwork you need to turn in, we got to turn it in together. So if you need to take a snapshot on your phone and text it to my work phone, I got you. So if you know people in your community that don't have access to computers, don't really know technology, that's what the SNAP team here is for. And I want to give you guys a little clue. It's not easy even if you know technology. They don't make it easy. It's just the government. They want you to jump through hoops. So don't look at it and say, I don't know computers. No, even people who know computers, I do, 40 applications a month and I still run into snags, So don't look negative upon yourselves for that.
Is Manage My Case a website or an app?
It is, Manage My Case is, if you would go to the next. So this is Manage My Case. It's on the ABE website. You would link your account, and then once it's linked, you would be able to look at any available notice that's been sent to you in the last 12 months. So if you know someone that says, I don't get my mail, I'm missing my mail gets stolen. Well, give me a call. We can look at anything that has been sent to you. There's a digital copy. So that's the way we can upload documents. We can see what was uploaded. You can click here and see how much you're getting, when your deposit is, when you need to renew. So this is part of the website where we do the applications.
Is that something that we really should do then?
SNAP benefits or Manage My Case?
That management?
If you want to link your account together, it really kind of opens up what you can see, but it's not required by any means. It's just if you just want to keep more of a look on it, like people like an eye on your account. So it kind of depends. That answer.
I'm trying to figure out if I should actually do it or not.
Well, if it's something, you just need your social and your birthday, and it's just easy to link. So, did you do an online application?
No,
Okay.
I went into the office.
Yeah, that's definitely something I could help you do is set that up for you. But if you're not having any issues, then you probably wouldn't need to do that. But the next one, oh, sorry. So a lot of times people are getting kicked off because they're missing their midpoint or their redate. And then, so I definitely say keep a lookout for those. Any change in income, household size, and then housing costs. Your rent goes up $50, let them know. Let them know anything that changes, and then that way you can get the max amount you're getting. And then right now we have a big problem with card skimming. I don't know how they're doing it. But I think it might be like the same way they skim credit cards. So a lot of times people are losing their SNAP benefits. I also say, please reach out to me. There's a form we can fill out. If it's determined that it was actually stolen, then you can get reimbursed the amount that you had spent on the card, or they had taken on the card. So people look out for that. Now, what can SNAP buy? Fresh fruit, vegetables, anything you can make in the store. Bread, cereals, non-alcoholic, dairy, anything like that. I don't really understand this half of it, or not this half. Because you can't find cleaning supplies, hygiene, I think that should be included, but I'm not in charge. Pet food and stuff like that, so this cannot be used. You can't use anything like go buy a chicken, one of the rotisserie chickens, can't buy one of those.
But I wonder why
Yeah.
you can't buy anything that's good.
Yeah,
Huh.
You could buy cold deli, but not hot
Yeah.
deli.
yeah, that,
I'm like,
it doesn't make, like, other than this one, this is beer and wine, I don't think you should be able to buy beer and wine, but this stuff, I really feel like you should be able to do and use those, but if I was in charge, there'd be a lot of different things. Okay, so this might be something that you would want to download if you have Snaps. This is an app. And it's just like a banking app. You can see when was used, you can see what charges, where. And then a really nice thing is you can pause your card. So let's say you lost it, you're not sure where it is. You can pause it, you can change your PIN, you can ask for a replacement. It's just like a banking app. And then, so this is what the website or the app looks like. And then you have a card holder portal and you can do all that kind of stuff like that. So if you have Snap, I definitely recommend downloading this app or going to the website. So people always say to me, well, Krista, I'm only getting $23 a month. What's the point? Well, there's a lot of different things that you can get. Snap to me is almost like a golden ticket. Then you can take that Snap and you can go and get low cost internet, or you can get minutes for your phone. You can get, a lot of times you can get like, Amazon Prime for cheaper, the telephone services. Sometimes there's computers and stuff that you can apply for and get. Utility assistance, LIHEAP. I'm not sure if anyone's heard of LIHEAP. But that also usually can help you verify. iPass,
right?
they have a deal on iPass, and I have a form that could give you more information. I think it's an email though. They'll give you a free transponder, and then I think they give you like a $5 credit, and then you only have to upload instead of like $20 increments. You only have to upload in like $5 increments. That way you're not having to have a bunch of money in there in the account for one ride, you know? So iPass, and then benefit access program. Is anyone familiar with that? Okay. So it is usually for seniors, but also I think people who are disabled. And it can help with your license plate tags, your bus passes and stuff like that. So definitely take a peek at that. Can save. So the way that it's, if you can save 20 or 40 on your telephone service,
Really?
$100, like let's say as an example, and $100 in utility. So you're basically getting $120 extra in your pocket a month. Might not be in SNAP, but you can use it for food then. So every dollar really, in my opinion, really, really helps. Another thing that a lot of people don't realize is you can actually shop online with your SNAP benefits. And then you can get one of the ones where they have like free delivery, they can bring it right to your house. So that's definitely a thing for people who don't have mobility or have issues getting out. You can use all of these sites. Now talking about food pantries, because that's what we do at the food bank. A lot of times people will say, I don't really I get stuff that's a little older, or I get stuff that's not, really fresh. We actually have this chart right here that can tell you, how long things are actually good for. So we have milk, we have best sell by date just means it needs to be out of the store by then. Best by is different. And then a lot of this stuff will, hold up dry pasta and rice, hold up for a while, canned soup. So, just a little chart that can, make you feel a little bit safer with some of the stuff you're eating.
Is it okay if I email this PowerPoint out as well?
Yep.
Okay, awesome.
Question,
What does SNAP stand for?
supplementary nutrition, assistant program. Yep, it's formerly EBT, food stamps, anything, like that.
So it's called Links now?
Link is another word for it.
Okay.
This is how they confuse you. They throw 20 words at it, so you don't know what the program is.
So does link stand for something different, or is it just like a commonly?
I think it's like, so many abbreviations. Any other questions or anything?
The telephone number?
My telephone number? I have papers I can text out.
Is our responsibility to ask our.
I'll email
if
the-
They need this stuff, or
I
is that intrusive into their personal?
Like, I don't know your guys' standards, but I always just try to tell people, like, hey, if you're looking for other resources in the community, let me know. There's, if you just generally say they have SNAP, they have Live Meat, they have, just the general, let them know. And then if they do need anything, you could always just give them my phone number, and that way you're not getting into their,
Yeah.
finances and stuff like that.
Does this automatically renew or run out? I mean,
So SNAP benefits for people who are not over the age of 65 or disabled, they need to do a renew every 6 months.
what about people that are over 65?
They're trying to move it to a 2-year model where you only have to renew every 2 years.
Oh,
Really?
Do they get something in the mail to notify them? I have 2 clients that have it and I don't know.
Mhm. They're trying to move it to the 2-year thing. I don't think everyone who's, caught up on it yet. But the only thing I advise people on that 2-year thing is make sure you update your bills. Because think about how much your rent goes up and everything in 2 months, your utilities. A lot of times people aren't updating that and then they're not getting as much credit as.
I'm 66 and I gotta renew it every 6 months.
So you need to get you on that 2-year renewal. The state. I feel like our team right now is really struggling because the state never knows what they're doing. And I'm so thankful every day that I do not work for the state. And I know that's not horrible, but they have too many rules. The people who actually approve applications, they go to like in-house school training for 6 months. I can't even act like I know all the rules. The way that I look at an application is I'm gonna give them all the information, every ounce of information, and make them decide. It's what their job is. My job is to fill out applications. And they don't make it easy. So, and now they're talking about doing like a 2-factor authentication. You have to have email, you have to verify your email. I feel like my team is like walking on eggshells right now because we just don't know what's gonna happen. And they'll probably
They don't do that.
we are so nervous. We're so nervous. And then they'll probably change it another 3 times between the time they actually make the decision. So, it, I get over the mistakes. Other questions? Any other questions on any benefits or anything the food bank does or any other benefit that I meant to cover?
I have a question, maybe more directed to Jack, it's not program related, so my client has a person that comes in, I think once a month. That's his bills, other financial stuff.
Mhm. Yes.
Am I correct in assuming that they would be addressing anything that you need like this program or anything else?
Krista, do you know if the money management program does SNAP applications?
I don't know if, it would definitely be taken care of. Cause I've had people say I work for a money management
So I
program.
don't really think you applied to what I can tell.
Okay.
But I know there's other things,
Okay,
and it might be good if we have an understanding of what those other programs apply.
Yeah.
You know, it's got this help, I don't. know.
yeah. So most people who have services through Catholic Charities have a centralized case manager. So there are all these like satellite programs like Senior Companion Money Management, but there's typically one central case manager who's over all of those things. Those case managers are under the community care program, and they typically will assist with SNAP benefits and those kind of applications, the benefit access and things like that. Do you know if he has the name of that case manager?
Yeah, and there's. been
Okay.
times
Okay, good. Yeah, so that person is typically the person who would put in the SNAP benefit application.
Anything financially.
So money management handles his monthly finances, so making sure the bills get paid, those kind of things. But then if he needs like government assistance programs, it would typically be the case manager through the community care program.
What about health? Sign up time for-
Yeah, that's the ship department. Sorry, go ahead.
So it's the same application.
Yes.
What do you think?
Whatever case manager you're,
So there's a case manager.
So yes, the case manager can help with the renewal. And then the client needs to answer the phone for SNAP and for Medicare. Cause the Medicare case manager through the Medicare office has to do a renewal.
They don't recognize
Yeah, and that happens so often. Typically, they'll leave a voicemail.
so they're.
Um,
they're trying-
Oh,
I mean, because maybe the expenses, the
yeah,
voicemail, mail that's filled up.
yes,
They-
So they, in practice, when you're like, are two different things sometimes, but if they're trying to make it so the caller ID comes up as public aid or public benefit, so you actually can like see. So I always recommend, 217. If it doesn't say public service or public aid, a 217, like a Springfield number is usually where they call. But you could always have them ask their caseworker, and then if that's something their caseworker won't do, then that's when you would have them call me. And then I can help them do an application on the.
What I'm getting at is that there's more things that I need to be doing that I'm not already doing.
so. If you want to help with SNAP benefit application, is that what you're meaning?
Appreciate
Okay,
it. It's really all this stuff. There's
yeah,
benefits within his insurance, insurance.
okay,
That I think he's not taking advantage of.
Okay.
I don't feel like I should interject myself as somebody else's managing.
sure. So typically, the community care program case manager can assist with those things if the client is wanting help with it. Yeah, probably. Because they might have more insights into what's already been happening, or it might help them to become aware of what's already been happening. That way they can know. It's hard because for a lot of people, they have 4 different people coming into the home, and there's a different contact for each thing that comes into the home, or each different application is through a different agency. And part of the case manager's job is to try to kind of pull that all into one space. That way there's like one contact person for those things. It does not always happen that way, as I'm sure everyone is aware of. But that is kind of the hope, kind of having one contact person, and then if it needs to go somewhere else, maybe they could be helpful in that regard. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay, it can be pretty convoluted, especially if they're like, well, you need to go to this department or this person, so.
And also, I think if someone denied, they don't reapply, even though their income goes up. I mean, the income guidelines go up every October. So you might have not qualified last time, you might not, and then you might this. So, I would say, talk to the case manager and then, I would do any new applications in October, because then the income guidelines would be.
That's helpful to know. So every October, the income guidelines increase.
Mhm.
So that means,
Like, you
You're-
can make
okay.
more to get, you can make more now.
Yeah. okay,
So,
that makes sense. Cost of living.
You definitely gonna give us your.
yes, yes.
I emailed the PowerPoint also. So is your information in there as
It is
well?
in
Okay.
Nebraska, like a little-
Oh, great. Yeah. Can I help you pass those out?
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn on the lights. So here we go.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have questions? Government assistance can be quite complicated, can get convoluted.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure a lot of you already have experience with that or have a client who has experienced it, so.
Yes.
I don't have enough.
I've always got a letter in the mail to renew. The, or redetermine, they call it.
Yeah, and then I have a couple of these, if you just want to take a peek. These are, some of the programs that you can use or get into if you have SNAP benefits. So here's the Amazon Prime that I was talking about, the phone service that I was talking about. Computers, internet, all of that here. So if anyone wants these,
Yeah.
I got a couple of those, but you guys can take whatever. We keep one. But I think the main thing to remember is it's, and to tell your clients, it's not easy. They should never feel ashamed. I have a lot of seniors that call me that are, Krista, I worked my whole life. I cannot believe I need help. And I always tell them, how many people did you help in your life? Let us take care of you now. That's what we're here for, to take care of you. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I should have printed more of these, but I haven't been to the office lately, but questions? Anyone? No? But if you have anyone that needs help, have them call me. They're not bugging me at all. This is my job, is to make sure that people in the community that need help get help. So bottom line. Mhm. Any other questions? And if you guys want your case managers or case managers you work with to reach out with me, out to me, I could actually, I go to some places where I'll just do a SNAP day for them. And I'll just meet with their clients, just bust out SNAP applications. I'll go to like, some of the community partners and stuff like that, because your caseworker has a lot to do. They have a lot on their plate, like you were saying, the 4 different people coming into their house. If they can just have a day with me and you don't have to worry about doing the applications yourself, have them call me. I like to get out of that. I like to get out of the office.
So actually, this is a great connection because Mackenzie Joe also runs the senior center here.
Yeah.
And like, did you hear, she can do SNAP days where she comes and just like signs people
Yeah, so
up.
if you want it, and then,
Yeah.
I'm going to, like, I have 2 library events in the next month where they have time slots. They actually schedule appointments for me. And then, that way,
Okay, yes, I would love to have your contact information.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
yeah.
I will email it to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions or thoughts or comments?
You brought up some things that I need to look into.
Yes, yeah.
So do I understand this right? If they're getting or have links or SNAP, these are.
Programs that they should look into,
Okay,
to get all sorts of stuff.
so they could get a free smartphone?
Depending on, like, every program has its own requirements, but
Oh,
there are smartphones for taking if you apply,
okay.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate this information. I emailed out her PowerPoint that has her contact information, and then you obviously have it in a handout also. So if you have other questions, you know, I'll have Krista's information.
And then here's a find food finder if you want to give this information out. I'll leave a couple of those.
Thank
for
you.
You actually can go on there and
Sister.
put in your zip code and it will tell you the food pantries by you. Also have the phone number and the hours. Make it a little bit easier so you're not trying to hunt those down. But I always do recommend calling. It's calling to make sure that they're open.
That is a good idea.
Yeah. So anything else? I'll let you guys get back to your Friday.
Jackie, can we get copies of?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Which one do you need copies of?
Yeah.
Yes.
This one with the discount?
This.
Oh, that's more there.
Oh, you do? Great.
Yeah.
If not, I can go make copies real quick. That's not a problem.
Yeah, I think I'm out of time.
Okay. Yeah. Mackenzie, Joe, is there any way you can make like 10 copies of this?
Yes.
Thank you so
I'll-
much.
I'll go make copies of that and then I'll sign binders if you want to get your binders ready to be
Thank you
signed.
so much.
Yeah, so
Today.
because I was at cafe and I saw the other lady and I was like, oh, yeah, let me confirm. And then I sent you like little email.
That was cool.
And I was like, you're still on, right?
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you.
Yeah, so everyone have a great day and please pass out my information.
Will do.
Just, it'll just be for our next instance, like the rest of those ones. Okay, I'll take it, I'll still sign it and you'll get. This one is just not after the 15th. Okay.
But I get a blind phone, maybe you're fine. Saturday, I have it filled out. Are you guys gonna be there for a while?
Yeah, I'm gonna be here, but. Yeah, no, Dick goes, it's in the summer. We do that. I should have already ordered something.
Okay.
So that helps to make them necessary.
Right, thanks.
You can also.
I don't mind if you have to put it on skin.
Okay.
Oh, we bring them in, what's that? Okay, thank you. Well, she's got it signed in us. So we get, right. Yeah.
I can give them the July one is. Nobody.
Whatever the email was.
Right. Yes.
So Gloria, you get ready for Halloween?
Yes, I am. I do skeletons in my car.
Oh, do you?
I got friends, yeah, girls who sees it.
Yeah. Okay, I'll come back. Let's figure it out.
Yes.
Okay, all right, we'll get you next.
And she got. Thank you.
Okay. Let me print you one.
Did you get a binder or just forgot it for today or did you not get it? You did.
I don't have my fingers.
Oh, okay, so you don't have a binder yet.
There are more in the office.
This is different.
So
What's the difference between the black one and the white one?
the
Those
black
just
ones are just new.
They're just new. right?
Yeah.
Do I have?
You don't have to if you would like one. We can get you one though.
I don't need to take your supplies. I already have a white one.
Okay, if that's okay with you, then.
Yeah.
Eddie needs one of the sign-in sheets. I already printed flyers.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I've been signing.
Thank you.
Pumpkin cookies, there you go.
All right,
That's.
what are we doing?
Pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie. I don't know. Mackenzie Joe's in charge of snacks, so we'll see what she buys next month.
For July and.
Apple,
Yeah.
maybe one of each. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna keep going through the announcements to hopefully get you out of here early, as always. Does anyone have other questions or comments about Krista's presentation? Nope. Okay. So. We have continued to work through the wait list. I know we've been scheduling a lot of match meetings and still have more to schedule, so thank you for your patience. Currently, our wait list in Kankakee County is 21 people and 8 in Iroquois County. If you're looking for new clients, let us know. Molly, okay. And then sometimes it just takes us a little while to hear back from clients. So I look at the wait list and see what clients are available in your area. And then I have to call them, and sometimes they don't call me back. So then it's multiple calls and sending a letter. So that's generally what the holdup is, just waiting to hear back from a client. So there are 8. Yeah. Okay. And then if you want to email timesheets, you can email them to me, but the preference is typically to this AmeriCorps seniors at cc-doj. That way, you know, if I'm out of town or if I'm not working on a day that timesheets are due, then they go to Bri and she's in every day. So just so you know about that. A handbook reminder about leave of absences. So we do have some people who are on leave of absence for medical reasons right now. If you are gonna take longer than a month off, we need to put you on official leave of absence. That exempts you from in-service attendance and your monthly requirements. That's just an AmeriCorps standard that we have to fall under. If you're just gonna be out for a couple weeks because you have a minor procedure, you're going out of town, that doesn't need to be an official leave of absence. Just please let us know. That way, if your clients are calling, we can let them know you're okay. And then program staff should be notified as soon as possible if you're going on leave of absence. A leave of absence can go up to 120 days. And then if you need to continue after that, we can extend it via waiver to up to 180 days. After that 180 days, if you want to come back and you haven't served a client for 180 consecutive days, you have to recomplete the training. That's just a really long time to not be working with your client. So that's the AmeriCorps standard for that. Any questions about that? Okay. Anybody can cash out their paid time off if you accrue that during a leave of absence, or if you decide, you know, senior companion just isn't right for me anymore, you can always retire, resign, whatever you want to do during that time period. But that is there for your information. We have our upcoming timesheets. Today is the timesheet due date for September 1st through 15th. If we get them late, you just get paid late. You're still going to get paid. Any questions about timesheets? Okay. One thing to note, and I need to update this on the bottom of the timesheets. I'm going to make a note of that, but our senior companion program offices have moved to this building. So there's a little blurb at the top of your sheet with like the new address on it. It didn't print very well, but it has our new address on it. Timesheets can come here. We have a mailbox to come get them from. If they go to the KCC office, I check it a couple times a week, but this is our primary address now. Let me write it down to update it at the bottom of the timesheets as well. And then Mackenzie, Joe and I's offices are housed out of here. So if you're stopping by, we don't have a secretary. You just need to call in advance to make sure we're here. We're out and about in the community quite often. And I would imagine you already know I can be hard to get a hold of. So, um, you just need to call in advance to make sure there's somebody here because the doors pretty much stay locked since there's so much building between our offices and the front door. Okay, I still have a work cell number. That will not be monitored while I'm out. Just so you know, my work cell number, if you've been texting me or calling me on my work cell, that's not the regular Maine Catholic Charities number. I will not be monitoring that while I'm out from the 21st to the 2nd, just so you know. Our next in-service is October 18th. The next holiday, if you're a stipend volunteer, you get paid for is Indigenous Peoples Day. You can always choose to visit clients on that day. You'll still be paid for that as well. And then our next advisory committee meeting is November 8th. Bri will send out an email about the location for that. We've recently started to move locations. That way it's a little more accessible for people in all 4 counties. So Bri will send out an email if you're part of that. Any questions about any of that so far?
I have a question about the moving of the meetings. Do
Yes.
you get a good attendance in those other areas?
So in Will County, yes. I think they recently decided they were not going to do a meeting in Grundy County because there's only one volunteer who is on the advisory committee there, and there aren't other organizations that attend there. So I think for now it's just Will County, Iroquois County, and Kankakee County. But we always have a hybrid
Yeah.
virtual attendance, phone call, and in person.
And for some reason I don't get called in.
Oh, no. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I tried every time. End up nowhere.
Yeah, okay.
My technology. ignorant.
Or it might be on our end. I don't know.
Mhm.
Okay. It might not be. Okay. They're pretty simple, so just like senior companion and then their name and then a graph. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Are there any like client situations, highs or lows people want to discuss with the group to get input or emotional support depending on your client? Okay. Everything's going great. Okay, well, that's, yeah, okay,
That's my client on Friday.
okay,
She is growing tomatoes and peppers in her backyard.
okay.
She had me help her pick the ones that were ripe. And she insisted on me taking most of it.
Oh.
Was that okay, or did I violate a rule?
I don't think you did. I don't think you did, especially because she didn't pay money for those tomatoes. Are you using them? Like you'll use them? Okay.
We eat them.
Yeah,
But I
good.
was wanting to know, did I do right or did I screw up?
Yeah,
Has-
I about the same. thing.
Yeah.
Mine was an apple tree, she's growing,
Oh,
apples are falling all across the place. And I took the one right and talking to her, she said,
yeah,
"You didn't take the whole tree."
yeah. I think that's okay, especially, they didn't go to an orchard to buy the apples. They didn't go buy a bunch of tomatoes. Those were free from their garden. As long as it's not, a financial burden to the client. The,
I was just
yeah,
wanting to make sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Has anyone else had an experience like that where the client was rather insistent that they take something home with them? Yeah, Charlie's nodding her head.
I do. I have a
Yeah.
client that gets mom's meals and she
Okay.
doesn't like the cookies
Okay,
or the cheese sticks or whatever she gets because she doesn't order
yeah,
and she'd send it home with me. I
yeah.
no longer do that because I said, I don't need all those cookies. Get
Yeah.
to your neighbors, And just
Yeah.
not being a sport.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they feel bad if you don't take it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I think,
Yeah.
you know, as you get to, your clients get to know you and you know them, they become very friendly.
Yes.
You know, they wanna buy you lunch, they wanna do this, they wanna do that. And I had one client, we would take turns buying breakfast.
Yeah.
You know, I would say, we used to call it go Dutch, you know, and, so we would swap one time. As long as you weren't selling the tomatoes.
Yeah.
No, I.
With the group. The lady is with her daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and the daughter is planning to go for a trip,
Okay.
and asked me if I can stay overnight with her.
Not
And
the
I said,
program.
"No."
No.
About it, I will come and share.
Not the program. Amanda for caregiver services has funding where she might be able to pay for respite care.
Yeah.
So Amanda would be the contact for that. But we are not overnight services. And then, you know, if she had a medical emergency, I know you're medically trained, but not everybody is. So then, you know, we're opening yourself and our program up to liability issues. So yeah, never overnight. Yeah. Yeah, Charlie.
An older client. It was her culture that you have a meal with her. And every time I went to see her, she had a meal prepared. And it was so nice, and it was just something she said she wanted to do. She said, no one else needs to know.
Yeah.
But she would have a meal. And sometimes I would even offer, I would bring something, and that was fine, but it was in her nature to feed someone who came into her home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I say, no, I'm okay. Sometimes I eat before I go, but I felt like I was offending her.
Yeah.
Right. If I didn't eat with her.
Yeah. Our guideline very officially is we're not supposed to take things from our client, right? But there are instances where it's not a financial burden to them. You know, they already had food in the house. Maybe they bought extra, or maybe they had something for their garden where it really is relationship building when you're able to develop that relationship. The general rule of thumb is we don't give or receive gifts more than $10 for the calendar year. You know, so the occasional cup of coffee, you guys are splitting a meal, those kind of things are typically okay. If you're noticing your client is wanting to give you things every time and then their fridge is empty, or you know, those kind of things can be concerning. So if they're giving you all their tomatoes and then they don't have food to eat themselves, that's a concern, and then I need to get involved. Yeah, go ahead, Gloria.
They come up with different.
Yeah, that's a great question, Gloria. A lot of people do like Christmas cookies or Christmas cards or crafts and those kind of things, but it needs to stay under that $10. $10 for the whole year. So yeah, Christmas cards, that's the goal. Yeah. That's the whole year that I know about, right? I will say that. But
But what you choose
that's-
to do on your own, it's your own business. I mean, I do crafts with the woman I
Yeah.
go see all the time.
and
I
that's
certainly have spent more than $10.
And that's amazing. And I appreciate that. But the goal of that is that this program is not a financial burden for you. So if that's not a financial burden for you, that's amazing. But especially on the client end, a lot of our clients are on a fixed income, you know, so they might not be able to buy like a Christmas gift or something like that. And we just try to keep the guideline pretty low. That way they're not feeling that pressure too.
I know Betty
Yeah.
had started to insist that I drink a cup of coffee with her, and I'm like, well, is this allowed or not? But yet she's already got the
Yeah.
current cup.
Yeah.
and she
Yep.
says, I don't wanna have you here not drinking,
Yeah.
but you need to have something
Yeah,
to drink. And then
absolutely.
we actually take the coffee out on her porch and we watch the hummingbirds.
Yeah. She has a lot of hummingbirds, doesn't she?
Oh, yeah.
That's beautiful. I know we have another.
Keep listening
Yeah.
and watching.
Yeah,
I've learned to hear them coming to the theater and
that's awesome. Yeah. We have another companion whose client really enjoys to crochet, and her daughter buys her a lot of yarn that she doesn't always use and has been insistent that the companion takes it home. And so the companion will say, I'll crochet, you know, baby blankets and donate them to the Pregnancy Resource Center, things like that. So there are workarounds, and if you're wondering about has this violated a boundary, I'm happy to talk you through it, you know, because there are some gray areas. We are developing a friendship. We are there to like do crafts with people if they want to, you know, and so there can be some gray areas where the official guideline is not always helpful in this situation. So if you have questions, I'm always happy to talk through things with you too. Yeah. And people can be pretty insistent, right? She could
Yeah.
put the tomatoes in your car and make you take them home. Like, so she's like, I have too many. And those kind of things are okay. But if you're noticing concerning things like the bills aren't paid and she's feeding me a meal every time, or, you know, she doesn't have any tomatoes to eat herself, like those could be concerns that if you want some help with, I'm happy to talk through with you. Yeah. Yeah.
I just don't wanna do anything wrong.
Yeah, no. And there can be some gray areas, so I'm glad that you asked. Any other question? Yeah, Mary.
Are they giving out vouchers for farmers?
They did give them out. Mackenzie Tuber is the person. Did they already give them out? Do you know?
For this month,
It would have been for the whole farmers market season.
they did already do that.
They did.
are out.
They're out. Okay. That's good to know.
It was, yeah, it was a while ago, so it's not like you just missed it, if that makes you feel better.
Yeah. Yeah.
It went really fast. They went really fast. People were like waiting at the door.
Oh,
It was an event.
all right. Anything else? Yes, I have the September calendar, right? Yep. All right. Okay. I think that we're done.
Wow.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, Krista was very concise. She needs a September calendar for, oh my goodness. Moment. I need to stop. Just give me 1 second. Yeah.
Yeah.